Hey guys, it's Exy here, and today we're gonna be not playing. We're gonna be talking about 5 things, and those are: first thing, as you can see, new teaser; second thing, origins; and then third thing, game mechanics; fourth thing, timeline; fifth thing, prequel sequel. Now you might be asking me, what are we discussing? We are discussing the images that you can see right now of Nightmare Freddy, or I'm gonna call him that because we don't know what his actual name is yet, but Nightmare Freddy and Nightmare Bonnie. We're gonna be pretty much talking about what the fourth game is, pretty much in the first, second, third, and fourth, and fifth questions. So, first question is pretty easy. I kind of wanted to skip it, but it's just a question anyway. I can answer it. And pretty much is covering, what do you guys think the next teaser will be? And I've said this in one of my videos. I don't remember which, but I am like almost sure that the next teaser is gonna be Chica in this way. But it could also go into something that I'm gonna go into in the origins part, that maybe only Freddy and Bonnie will be in this game. But that's what I think the next teaser will be. I mean, maybe it could be some kind of a new animatronic that's not Chica or Foxy. Or maybe it could be another teaser like that hat teaser. Maybe it could be Mango or something. Golden Freddy. I really just don't know overall, but I do think that it's gonna be Chica. But I could be wrong, and you're gonna find out why in the origins part, which I'm gonna go into now. So yeah. So the origins. Pretty much Freddy and Bonnie, these two teasers overall, I want to talk about the origins between both of them. And it's pretty much about Bonnie actually, Bonnie and Freddy being the main animatronics like in the 1970s. That's what I believe in. And pretty much like after the place got bad reputation, and I'm talking about like when there was Spring Freddy and Spring Bonnie. So pretty much what I want to talk about is, I think that both of them kind of got in a little trouble, and they pretty much just got shut down, and they brought in new characters, meaning Freddy, Bonnie. Like, they still wanted the Chew, but they just didn't want the Spring characters because they've had too many failures with them. Because we know that these guys are humans can go inside them because both of them, have 5 fingers. And yes, guys, we are now sure that each one of them has 5 fingers. So pretty much, each one has 5 fingers. We have a lot to discuss, don't we? It's pretty much, they each have 5 fingers. That already means that humans can go inside them. And what I'm thinking is that there was failures when humans went inside them, and that's why they pretty much got rid of the Spring animatronics and brought in the Bonnie and Freddy character, because they still wanted them, just not the Spring characters. And then they also decided to bring in 2 new characters to spice the pizzeria up, and they brought in Chica and Foxy. But now what I want to talk to you about, still in the origins, is about how in the teaser for Bonnie it does say "was it me," and what lots of people think is that refers to the Bite of 87, and I do believe in that. So what could that mean? If it says wasn't me, and also another fact is that Freddy, look at his mouth for a second. His teeth, as you can see, are sharp. They're okay, but they are sharp, of course. Now look at Bonnie's teaser. As you can see, Bonnie's teeth are huge. It looks like he could rip out Flash so easily. Meaning that he might have bit out the child. We don't know who the victim was, but pretty much their frontal lobe. And now going back to the Freddy image, guys, we are looking into an awesome game, and I kind of want to tell you guys right now what I think if this game is a prequel or a sequel, but that's a fifth. So let's get into the third. It's pretty much game mechanics. So the game mechanics, what I think is that, as you can see, Freddy does have these strange characters, and I think that they have some relation to the name Nightmare. And what I'm thinking is that they're gonna be like hallucinations going around the building, annoying you pretty much, while Freddy and Bonnie come after you. They're gonna be the ones annoying you and making you wanna barf, because you just wanna keep an eye on this huge character. And I kind of have a feeling that these little guys are pretty much gonna be annoying to you, and are going to allow this big character to move around and have a chance to jump scare you. So another interesting thing is that the game mechanics as well. As you can see, this guy, he looks like he is one of the animatronics that stands up in the stage. And these little Nightmare Freddys, they're the ones that are pretty much messing up with your mind. Now moving on to this picture really quick of Bonnie. What I think the game mechanics that Bonnie can deliver are actually strange in a way. You can't really say that Bonnie has really any game mechanic yet, because we don't know anything technically. This animatronic could be anyone, could have any game mechanic, as far as we know, but there is something that I want to share with you. This Bonnie does kind of look like the Shadow Bonnie, so could this have some relation to Shadow Bonnie in some way? And could it, like, you know how Shadow Bonnie flies around and stuff? Could it actually do that? And another thing I was thinking of in the mini game, that when you see it fly around changing cameras, I kind of feel like Shadow Bonnie is either gonna be a super fast animatronic that it's a shadow. And I don't know if you guys remember, but in the first game, the trailer for it, Bonnie actually ran, which caused lots of people confusion, which could explain this now that I think about it. Pretty much, it could mean that Bonnie can run as fast as a flash and be in your building. Or it could also mean that he can hack the whole entire building. He knows the building outside and inside. So that means he can somehow hack it with his animatronic powers. I don't know really, but that's what I'm going for, because you can see that the mini game, when you're playing as Shadow Bonnie, it kind of glitches. could also mean that this animatronic somehow glitches and it can cause you some damage. But yeah, guys, that's it for the third one. Now going back to the Freddy image. Let's talk about the timeline. The timeline, I do believe that it's going to be around 1970s because just in my opinion, it just wouldn't make sense to be in the future because, as you all know, there is going to be a movie, and I would so like it if we knew the story of the past and the future, which means that Scott's going to have to choose for the movie to be one of them and for the game to be one of them. And since I just would really like the movie a lot more if it was a sequel and not a prequel to the game, because I just think that if it's a prequel, we already know what's gonna happen next. If it's a sequel, then we have no idea what's gonna happen next. So I think that he should make a prequel around this game. But I'm kind of going into what the fifth one is. Sorry. So I do think it's going to take around the 1970s. And now moving on to the fifth one. On number 5, I kind of just told you everything, but let's try to see another way. It could be a prequel, and only because these animatronics, Freddy and Bonnie, they have been all around pretty much. And why would you get rid of these animatronics? I mean, it's a perfect crime if Bonnie actually had caused the bite of 87. And if he did cause the bite of 87, that would have mean that it was before the second game. So yeah, this game, if there is Chica and Foxy in it, we could be looking at the first ever pizzeria of Five Nights at Freddy's, the first pizzeria, because as you know, there was the Family Diner, then there was another pizzeria that we haven't seen before, then there was a FNAF 2 pizzeria. So we could be looking, if Chica and Foxy are in the game, we could be looking at the first pizzeria. But if they're not, we could be looking at the Family Diner. Now it could also be a sequel, because it's a great way to finish everything. And I also have a theory about the hat. Why was the hat missing before? As you all know, the hat, there was pretty much, the hat was missing in one of the teasers, and we could have been looking into pretty much the hat, meaning that somebody picked up a new company and they're gonna start a new business. But I actually think that that would be a great movie story, meaning that, like, showing the auction, somebody picking the hat up, having everything, making a new company, and then finding these two, Spring Bonnie and Spring Freddy, on Family's Diner, or finding all 4 characters, Spring Freddy, Spring Bonnie, Spring Chica, and Spring Foxy, on the first pizzeria. I think that would be a great movie story. But since we're talking about the game, I do think this game's going to be a prequel, and I really do hope it's a prequel. And if it's not a prequel, I'll still be happy, but it just would be better as a prequel, in my opinion. Tell me in the comments down below if you want to see a prequel or a sequel. And yeah, guys, I'm Exy. Make sure to subscribe and like for the video. And I will see you next time, guys. I don't know what I'm saying, but bye.